Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Crusader Kings II, and this is Millennia in the Making episode 39. Pretty glad, wow, mispronouncing things already. Pretty glad to be on the edge of the 30s because I know I sometimes pronounce TH as an F and it just irritates me. Anyway, we're playing as King Ulrich the Great of Bavaria, Pomerania, and Bohemia. He's the son of King Ludolf the Great of the same kingdoms, except maybe Bohemia, and, King Ludolf was the son of King Otto, our original character. We've just finished a war with Hungary, and reassigning Bohemia's succession laws, which is good. It was very important for us to do that. But now we're going to take advantage of these Polish revolts. Specifically, well, let's see what we've got holy wars here, so we could holy war for these two places. Yeah, it's not too bad. It'd actually open up a lot of space into Lithuania and Konigata, though Konigata, I believe, is held by the Norse. So if we attack the Norse here, we'd get the Norse up here coming at us. It's a very ugly situation. So we'll just keep that on hold for the moment. What we're actually going to do is holy war for Cilicia, because this guy took it out of our lands because he's an asshole. So we're going to do the usual dick move thing where we get our retinue, put them into Upperland, and then start the move into Upper Cilicia. Apparently we have another elector in the Kingdom of Bohemia. I wasn't aware of that. The Duke of... Oh, right, the Duke of Moravia. That's alright. I'm not overly concerned about that. And we can't change the succession law again with King Ulrich because it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, like changing crown laws. Speaking of changing crown laws, Bavaria is still on low authority. I would like them to be on medium, because that means I could tell basically any infidels to just get the fuck out. Pomerania and Bohemia are already on medium, so let's see. It's going to be an opinion malice against us for a while, just because we'll do it when we get to 50 years old. Because then we've got the whole thing where we might die off, and if we die off, the opinion malice goes with us. Okay, so in about June, we're going to declare war on this guy. Oh yeah, we're just moving in there, bro. We're just being friendly. No big deal. I think most of his troops are going to be up here, though. Yeah, see, barely any troops there, so let's just get this war going. For Cilicia. Done. And we call him West Francian, but I don't care, and we're also hostile towards the Polish armies. Because, it's technically their territory. And let's get that speed going a bit. The new Duchess of Austria is outraged by the succession law change. Well, that's interesting. I wonder why. It doesn't affect her. Or does it? Let's see. It doesn't look like it affects her at all. That's her stuff there. Why do you care? Why are you outraged? Whatever. She is literally the only one who gives a shit. The other ones are upset. Like, some of them are upset about it, but not all of them, because some of them have benefited from it. Most nobles should like that succession law change, because it gives them a chance, or some rubbish. But she doesn't like it. She is an elector in Bavaria, so that's an issue. But, yeah, even if the Corinthian gives Prince Ulrich the vote, it doesn't matter. So there's another reason for us not to increase our crown authority at the moment, because they're already getting a little bit upset about the changes in succession law. Big deal. Some Swedes are trying to get freedom or something. I don't know. I'm not concerned about what's happening up in Sweden. I am concerned about what is happening down in Bavaria, which, as we mentioned in the last episode, is quite a large realm at this stage. We really need to just deal with a Corinthian Jew. I'm very sick of him just throwing his vote around. It annoys me. Huh. That's interesting. Some adventurers are trying to conquer Venice. And there's their fleet, actually. I wonder if they're actually... They don't look like they're there. Huh. It's actually a lot of fun to play as a Republic, as long as you manage to avoid getting stomped in the first 5 years by, say, the Byzantines. Because you get this whole personal house which you can build up. And it's a lot of fun, and you build little trading posts all over the place. Like, here's one. It's from the Tribuno family of the Venetians. And we actually... Yeah, you can see their trade areas. There are 3 trade republics at the moment: Genoa, Venice, and Amalfi. And they're kind of doing alright. And there you can see a little breakdown of their actual family trade zones for the particular country. But it is a lot of fun because you build a little trade house and then you can slowly take over the province, and it's amusing. Unfortunately, the early game of being a republic is quite luck-based, so, you know. And if you start the game as a patrician, which means you start as just one of the guys of the house, you don't start as the Serene Doge, then, well, starting as a patrician is actually kind of fun. There's an election, like an actual election process to become the Doge. Yes. Many votes, such democracy, wow. And there's a little revolt for some dude's claim on Austria, Adalbert. Who's Adalbert, bro? Seriously, who is Adalbert? Is he somebody in your... No? Who is Adalbert? Can we check? I just want to see. Just some guy called Adalbert, apparently. I'm going to find him. He'll be in my realm, so that's a good start. Adalbert. Well, there's a few it could be. I'm hoping it's Adalbert, Prince of Bavaria here. Who's one of the twins, actually. Let's see. This guy, does he have a claim on Austria? He does not. Does this guy? Okay, so it's probably going to be this guy. And also my son doesn't, so it's probably this guy. I don't want to plot his murder because it would be kind of pointless. I can't invite him to court. Well, and we can't even get involved there because it's an internal conflict. So, hopefully the Austrians actually manage to put that down. They have the numbers to do so. This is the Revolutionary Army here, and this is the Austrian armies. If they join together and play it smart, they should be able to do it. But, yeah, not too much in the way of hope there. Prince Lothar, my son, the dumb one, the Count of Neutra, has accepted his wife's call to arms. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he? She's his wife. Like, oh no, you can fight your own little wars, love. I'm not planning on, you know, getting involved or anything. Scotland is doing quite well. They pushed Norway out of Scotland, or out of Caithness, and they occupy all of this. Pretty good. Is that the historical boundary? Yeah, they're actually past the historical boundary of between Teviotdale and Cumberland, and Dunbar and Northumberland. That's quite nice. Try not to zoom in too much there because the fog of war makes the screen go very dark. Yeah. Crusader is still going strong. I'm just going to unpause the game so we can progress that siege. I'm not very worried about it. The Umayyads are coming along nicely. Look at all that. Less so than they should be, actually. Normally they take this bit up here, but it looks like Asturias got involved. And Aquitaine's coming down here. Duke Bruno of Messian has died of severe stress. He's no longer the guardian of Prince Adalbert. So that would have been a warrior thing. So let's just quickly educate him with a warrior. Namely our other son. Yes, sounds good. And Duke Adolf of Messian, who is our kinsman, has inherited the lot. What does he want? Did he want something? He wants the Kingdom of Pomerania. Okay, so he's not going to get that. But he's a good vassal because he's content. And Countess Agath of Rostock, seeks to kill Duke Waldemar of Moravia. Well, you can stop that right now. And we have an open council position for Marshal. We're going to give it to our son. Which pops him up, and we're going to tell him to research military tech. Little risky because he does have a, what is this, a 2% chance of taking a wound. But no, he'll be fine. And honestly, if he takes a wound and then recovers, he gets the Scarred trait, which is a lovely little bit of prestige. Maybe a bit of attraction too, I forget. Oh, we can increase an economy tech. We were going to do improved keeps, I believe. Yeah, it's... castle infrastructure would also be nice because it increases our base tax from our castles as well. And does eventually lead to better castle towns. Whereas improved keeps leads to better keeps and city walls. We're going to do this one. So let's see, we're at 15.8. Let's see if that ticks up in the month. It has also unlocked the ability to purchase new buildings with a lot of gold. Oh well. Yeah, there we go. We've gone from 15.8 to 16.5. Not a big increase. But hey, every bit counts. And we're losing a lot because of our retinues reinforcing at this stage. Count of Znojmo is trying to fabricate a claim of the Duchy of Austria. Stop that shit. And we were talking about the Scarred trait. There it is. Plus 0.1 prestige per month. Not bad. And we've got somebody founding a faction. Yeah, they've only got 5.5% men. It doesn't matter. County of Domesleach is being moved around a little bit, and Light Maries as well. That's fine. It's no drama. And these sieges are coming along very nicely. If we do take the lot and we don't have, 100% war score, it's always this woman here, isn't it? It's always Trude, or somebody called Trude. I'm beginning to think she may fancy me. We have more than enough children. We don't need bastards. So she's not my type. But if we occupy all of these places and we don't have enough war score to push victory, we just come over here to Saxe and what's this? Samnimes or something and beat that up. But in the meantime, we're still getting gold from just occupying these places. It's cool. And yeah, we're probably not going to get the right amount. He's going to be very reluctant to give it up as well because it's his... well, he does own other places, but they're all the way over here. We're not going to march across Conagata to get to some place over here. We'll just rely on ticking war score and beating up these provinces. If we have to. I'm hoping that we won't have to. We're going to save up money to get the next level of training grounds, because it also increases retinue size in Munchin, of course. Got a couple of other people who've just joined in that war, but they're very unimportant. Just counts from various places. And we're not assaulting these holdings because, well, I don't care that much. I don't have to worry about losing men if I don't assault the holdings. I'm just going to take them anyway. He doesn't have enough of a military to stand up against me. If the King of Poland decides that he doesn't want me stealing land in the meantime, that would be a good reason for us to assault places quickly. And let's see. That war shouldn't end anytime soon. I'm hoping. If it does, then, this is all for naught. Okay, that's that place completely done. So now we head on down here. Hang on. That's odd. I think he declared independence, though he is still involved in these wars against tyrants. Yeah, you can see he's no longer the dark red colour of a rebel. That's kind of bizarre to me, honestly. That shouldn't happen. Oh well, whatever. We should now have a ticking war score, and we do, and he still will not accept any peace. But I believe that does mean... No, we're still hostile to the Polish. That's fine. Maybe it's just coloured him a different colour for, the hell of it. Who knows? Miltech's coming along nicely. How much was that training ground? Enough. There we go. In 3 years, we will have a new training ground. Nice and pretty and stuff. Good to train on. That sort of thing. Who was this guy at war with? He's allied with the King of Wessex. That's fine. In a war for some dude's thing. Now, we don't have a valid casus belli. And the Queen of Brittany is just having too many children for us to worry about the betrothal thing that we were doing last time, where we were trying to worm our way into the Kingdom of East Francia. What's that? That's a army that we probably have to take down at some point, but it's fine. We just keep an eye on it. Got a new chief of Rostock, chiefess of Rostock. She does not like us at all because she is a zealous Norse woman. And married to Count Walram, who is, well, he's a Littlefinger. He's also the Count of Lower Silesia. That's fine. I'm not terribly concerned about countesses not liking me. Now, we really don't have a lot of random things to do. We could improve our intrigue, maybe, by revoking titles. Sometimes this gives you a little reward of getting 1 point of intrigue for doing it. Though... Uh-oh. Hold up a moment. Let me explain this before we go into this event that's just happened. What was I talking about? Well, I've forgotten. The revocation thing, right. The plots to revoke counties. These used to give you 1 intrigue when you succeeded on them. However, that got nerfed very heavily in either a hotfix or a, DLC expansion patch at some point. because it was used to abuse what's called North Korea mode, where instead of using the feudal system to keep control of everything, you just didn't care about your demand size and you personally owned everything. And it used to be impossible to do because you'd get all these negative events, but for some reason Paradox changed the negative events from exceeding demand size to being if you have negative, like a negative balance. And it was very easy to keep above a negative balance when you owned every single thing ever. The only problem was that you didn't get much technology spread. But it didn't matter because you owned everything. And one of the main things that you could do was constantly give people titles and then revoke them. Just again and again and again. And in the end you'd have an intrigue score of something like 100. Which is obviously broken. Anyway, Brynhild. Holy shit. Have a look at that crap. Anyway, wow. Oh, fuck me, what? Brynhild, the Maid of Olomouc. My lord, there are strange tidings from the province of Olomouc. As our country suffers under the strain of war, lol, a young woman has come forward and declared that the Lord has spoken to her and instructed her to deliver us from the enemies of our land. She wears armor, wields a sword, and rides with the soldiers. Her name is Brynhild, and she is said to be approaching your court at this very moment to offer her services to you as a leader in the war. Surely it's an absurd notion that a young peasant woman should take the role of marshal or general of the king's armies. Now, I just need to check something on Wikipedia really quickly. I'm pretty sure that this wasn't an actual... Oh my god, it actually was. Was it? Oh, it's not telling me very well there, but let's try what I was actually looking for. Yep. Bavaria, doing Joan of Arc before Joan of Arc. Let us receive her and see what she can do for us. So, fucking 33 Marshal. I'm pretty sure we can't tell her to lead an army. It's fucking... I don't know why my stopwatch on my phone decides to flash when it does when the phone updates, but it does that and it's quite irritating. Anyway, let's see. Gonna move these guys off momentarily. And yeah, she certainly can lead an army. And let's just look at her modifiers, actually. Go to character. So, she has a 0% increase with light foot troops, and that's been minimized because she's a cavalry leader, but because of her martial status down. Mounted troops under her command get a plus 53% bonus. She gets a plus 53% bonus when pursuing routed armies. She gets a plus 53% bonus in moral defense. She does 26.5% extra damage. She's got no defensive penalty, and when she's leading the center, she is at plus 26.5%. Can we make her my marshal? Oh, we totally can. I'm sorry, kid, but holy shit. 33? Yep, and then we're going to take her out of the actual army. And she likes us because she actually has a plus 100 modifier for being a loyal servant. And we're going to tell her to research military tech in Oberbayern. Look at that, a plus 165%. Yep, look at that. That's exceptional. That's exceptional. That's really good. This is great. I mean, wow. And if we ever want to arrest somebody, well, plus 33% chance. Anyway, I think that's left our army here without a leader, so let's put Almeric back in charge. Continue the siege, my friends. I'm pretty chuffed with that little event. The only unfortunate thing is that she won't have any children. See, she's celibate. Minus 1000% fertility. So we can't really do much with her. Nobody will even plot against her, which is fair enough. Why would we want to do that? Yeah, wow. It's just like have the best goddamn commander you will ever see. 33 martial ability. I've never seen that. Never seen that. But yeah. Take that, France! Yeah, we got it. Not you. These guys seem to be moving towards these provinces over here. Ida Lodofinger, my daughter, has died after a period of illness. That's alright. We didn't care too much about her, I think. She was giving an alliance of a West Francian, but we already have an alliance of a West Francian through other means. Yeah. Okay, well there's 200 gold from the Pope. That's good. Gets our monetary reserves back up a little bit after we decided to build that training ground. So he's going to get there, and I think we'll win this siege before he manages to really do much of anything. So we'll come back along and, beat him up. Adam is concerned that he is not married. I'll find him someone. Someone who isn't a Lodolfinger, hopefully. Or a child. Really? Come on, let's try and find him somebody around his own age group. None of these people are heirs to anything. Let's just mark him as special interest so that I remember where he is, and we'll just have a look through some of this stuff. If we could assassinate the King of Brittany, it would be most fortunate, but we can't. He's too good for us to assassinate. And that would be because then we could marry Adam to Clara and try and get that thing happening. It's alright. We don't have to deal with it. What about Lotharingia? How's that going? Aliard and Agnes. There's Aliard. She is 13 years old. Where's Adam? There he is. Nope, won't accept it. He'd want a better alliance, because we won't get one from that. Oh well, that's annoying. What about Agnes? Probably not. They're going to be very resistant to that because they want the better alliance and they want the matrilineal marriage. How about here? Nah, they're all blokes. Every single one of them. Oh, that's the King of Scotland for some reason. And that one's only one. Aquitaine, maybe. No, but Aquitaine has elective monarchy, and that's just a load of bullshit. Wessex, they're Catholic. Adolf, I've seen Balfed. Ah, Balfed. Balfed is 2. Nope. Scotland, Radolf, Malaise, and David. Well, there's Radolf there. No, that's just not working out well for us. We're just going to marry him off to someone. Someone nice. Actually, let's use this to get somebody good into our realm. Let's say good at diplomacy. We might be running a bit shy of those, so how about this one? Yeah. Well, he loses prestige, I don't. And that's because he's not a direct relative of mine. Yeah, we're really stacking on the gold now, even though we're at war. It's good. Yes, he accepts that, and she has arrived at court. Wonderful. We've got 4 duchies that we could make. Not really planning on it. Because, well, the only one we'd really want to make... We'll go over those in a moment after we deal with this event. 50 tech points. Let's go for military. Pretty sure that went into military. Nice. We're getting so close to this. Anyway, the duchies we could create. We have Cilicia up here, which is actually that. I'm not too keen on taking it because we're going to own it all anyway in a moment. Mecklenburg, don't want to make it because then that will give another, there'll be another vote throwing itself around in the Kingdom of Pomerania. Bohemia, same thing except for Bohemia. I don't want another vote getting thrown around. And Nitra, there's not much point. Like, there's really not much point. The only reason why I would make this a duchy is to either elevate tech levels into place, which I don't give a shit about at this stage, or if we didn't own one province in there. We can't do any weird marriage stuff with the Hungarians because you can only marry in your religion group. For the pagans, that means every damn pagan out there. I mean, let's have a look. Norse can marry Slavs, Slavs can marry Removers, they can marry Suamonesco, and they can marry Tengri. That's all fine. But, as a Catholic, we can only marry a Catholic or an Orthodox. And same thing with the Muslims. They can only marry Sunni and Shia, or Abadi, because that's a... I'm not sure if it's a heresy. What the fuck? Oh, this guy must have succeeded in his little adventure and now he owns Tripoli. Yeah. That's Norse. Now. You what? Okay, let's check on their sieges. So we're moving at 4.7. They're moving at 5.3, but we have a head start, so we should still win this. Maybe not in time to, you know, trek over and beat it out of him, but in enough time that he won't have fully stocked the garrison or anything weird like that. So, what's our next purchase going to be? Nothing here, because that will be building a training grounds for a long time. They are almost done with the barracks, though. Maybe something in Wittelsbach? The new keep, perhaps? Yeah, why not? We've got to increase our levy size a bit, though, look at that. 7,100 is our maximum. We still need to reinforce it a bit. We lost a few men in the last war, but it wasn't a big deal. Oh, apparently we were building a barracks here. That must have been a holdover from the last guy. That's fine. No worries there. We're not going to be able to get many troops out of those places because they're recently conquered and there's a new administration and all that sort of stuff. A son was born to Ludwig Ernst and Princess Christine of Bavaria, named Ernst. Cool. Another Littlefinger. Always good. Benhild. The nobles react. My king. The lords of the realm complain. They think it most unfitting and strange that a young maid of low birth is allowed such a prominent position when there are noble lords aplenty who are much more well prepared and competent. I doubt that very much. To lead your armies. Some of them are asking if you're doing this deliberately to insult them. Well, maybe. There is also the issue of her claiming to be personally sent by God. It sounds rather heretical. So we could, you know, let them moan, I am the king, in which they might be angry with us for a bit, or put her on trial for heresy. I'm pretty sure this will give us a lot of rebellion risk around the place, whereas this one will just be an issue with the nobles. I'm not actually sure how this event turns out. This is the first time I've seen this event pop up. I knew it was a thing, but I never really researched it. And, well, I have no intention of researching it at the moment. Because that would take the fun out of it, wouldn't it? So let them moan, I am the king. Now, I wonder what if that's actually had an effect which it isn't going to tell us about immediately. Nothing I can really see. Oh, let's order them by opinion. Yeah, nothing I can really see. Yet. We'll see. It might pop up later. Let's build that keep in Whittlesbark. Yeah, we're really racking in the money now. It's great. Upgrading our tech of castle infrastructure was probably the right idea. The key thing with tech is you want to use it to push ahead. You don't want it to catch up. That's why we haven't spent any on these in military when we easily could and bolster most of them up to rank 2. New Pope. New Pope likes us a lot. Good man. Pope Vigilus II. Wonderful. And now there's an independence faction kicking around. 4.7%. Yeah, it's fine. Not worried. Anyway, you want to use your tech to increase something up a little bit, like to push the boundaries, to get ahead of people, instead of using it to catch up, because you're catching up anyway. As long as you've got some decent counselors working for you, and your spy master is doing his thing, you're catching up anyway. That's a little bit of min-maxing, but whatever. Jihad for Armenia. The great Sunni Caliph Abu Bakr. He is a pretty good bloke. Has decided to call a jihad against the Kafirs in the Kingdom of Armenia. He urges all righteous Sunni Muslims to take up arms against the depraved Basilius II of the Byzantine Empire for the glory of Islam. Allah is merciful. And he won't be able to call us into war for this one because, well, we're no longer his ally, are we? He has no real allies to speak of. This is his own fault. Technically. I mean, Ludolf had a lovely little alliance with this guy and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, whatever. Not terribly concerned. Cardinals changing, happens all the time. Military's looking good. We don't have a plot. There's really not much for us to actually plot against. I mean, if we could kill this guy, it'd be kind of neat, because then we could wage war in Hungary again. We do have a truce with Poland. Maybe we could... No, we can't even get him off. That's what she said. So... It's gotten really dark in here. I guess clouds came over, and there's still a bit of time left, so I'm just getting up out of my seat to hit lights. So pay no attention to the screen not moving around like it usually does. And let's continue. Yeah, so we got that siege very shortly. We actually might be able to move across and catch these guys before they complete their little siege. And I believe I remember if we attack them from Upperland, we won't take a penalty. That's right. Good. One more tick. There we go. And yeah, we could do some really quick sieges here, but I want to get this army done, because they will also remove our ticking war score. And we've found this woman. Oh, we actually have a couple here. They won't take this one, but they'll take this one that we already had, so let's just give that one back. Oh, well, this one that we already had was just one that we grabbed at the same time. We grabbed 2 women out of the castle. Let's unpause the game. So the moral authority has fallen a bit of the Catholic faith because new Pope, sort of thing. And he probably doesn't have that, and he doesn't have a very good diplomacy. You can see all of the factors here. His piety and his diplomacy are very important. And we're going to bolster it by about 3% by winning this war. But what we really need to do eventually is to control Jerusalem. And, you know, that would be kind of nice, but it's really a long-term sort of thing. Yes, 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 10 gold, thank you very much. I don't think there are any triggered modifiers. In Europa Universalis 4, there are triggered modifiers that you get for maintaining particular things. For example, if you're either Christian or Islamic, and you hold Jerusalem, you get another missionary. It's kind of cool, but irrelevant at this stage. We're still almost 5 centuries away from that. Just under 5 centuries, I think. Yes, we got another faction forming. Wonderful. Really don't care. It's fine. I don't know why that particular woman was so upset for us changing the stuff. Okay, so they're going to move into light marriage. I'm going to try and chase them down. Oh, hang on. Benhild and the king. One evening at court, Benhild approaches you and asks to speak with you in private. You agree, and the both of you sit down for a talk in your chambers. Benhild speaks to you of her visions of Christ and her quest to save the country from the enemy. She speaks with passion, her simple honesty and forceful zeal both coming across as she looks you in the eyes. She declares her fierce loyalty and love for you as the chosen king. You are quite impressed by her passion, intelligence, and sincerity. Thank you for coming to see me, Benhild. My dearest Benhild, you are truly sent by the Lord, which is 30 piety for us, and we gain the zealous trait, which we already have, or we both know that you're a power-hungry imposter, Benhild, which is she loses 30 prestige, I gain 30 prestige. Well, I think it's in character to say that she is truly sent by the Lord. Benhild looks at you with tears of joyous fervour in her eyes. My lord, you are the highest and also the wisest man in the realm. God shall guide you through me, and the people shall be saved. With the sword of righteousness in my hand, guided by your wisdom and the will of God, we will be victorious. So it shall be. I'm kind of surprised that she doesn't have the Holy Warrior trait, which is that she does more damage to non-Christians or non-Catholics even, and less damage to, you know, members of the same religion. It's alright. We are attacking across a river here into Latmaries, but I'm fine with that. I don't think it's going to matter. We've already sent... Yeah, those flanks are just pathetic, so we've won this. Convincingly. See, it's good to have a retinue. Which does remind me... Get rid of that, it's fine. We need to check to see... Okay, well that was worth 35% war score. Oh, that has almost put us on it. Nope, just a flesh wound. So we're just going to chase those guys down. Now, we need to check retinues. We can definitely afford another shock retinue, so we'll just buy one of those. Excellent. And that will even our troops out nicely at 4,500 men. There we go, that's done for the war. Thank you very much. Let's see, we will, yeah, basically take everything. Done. And now we have too much land. It's only a single castle, because these two were already held by Catholics. So we need to give that to somebody. Somebody who won't cause trouble. Obviously Count Walram here will not be causing much trouble, he says, not checking anything. So we'll just give him Upper Cilicia. That's good. We could have given it to the other person who owns some of Cilicia, Ludolf von Hanover. But, well, to begin with... No, he remarried. Bad. To begin with, when this guy dies, he'll give it to Ludolf and he goes, so that's alright. We're not going to try and escalate that, though. But he already has 2 counties in Silesia, so we just give the holder of the 3rd county the 4th one. Just to keep it so that they don't form a duchy by themselves. Now, we still have about 10 minutes before we want to wrap this up, so let's see. I'm keeping the Pomeranians here on hold until we can get this next level of military tech, because that will let us just swamp in there and not worry about their goddamn supply limits. Same thing with the Sorbian. So let's just gather these troops up somewhere in Praha, sort of in between them. And yeah, even the same thing with the Norse. The Norse have terrible supply limits for us, so we're not worried about them at this stage. Do we still have a truce with this guy? Yep, for another 2 years. And then we could claim Thuringen or something. And he's at war anyway, so we can't usurp the title off him. It's fine. I don't particularly want to go to war with Lotharingia, because he can and will call on his allies. Oh, well, he won't call him the King of East Francia, because the King of East Francia hates him. He's changed succession laws somewhere. And the King of West Francia likes us more. We might be able to declare war on this guy and not have him drag everybody else in. Let's check his men. Come on, click over. He'll be near the top. 11,000. And we have 17,000. We can match his men without raising vassal levies, I think. As long as we have max defense levies. So if we raise vassal levies as well, that could work out for us. And it would let us conquer another province down here. I'd rather wait for him to do a split, though. Let's have a look at his titles. So, the Kingdom of Lotharingia is still Gavelkind. The Kingdom of Italy is still Gavelkind. Burgundy, then? Did he change the law in Burgundy? No. I don't know what succession law he's changed. He couldn't have changed it in any of the duchies, because he can only influence the other stuff. I'd love for him to die, though. I'd absolutely... Actually, no, because it'll all go to his one heir. Or will it? We're kind of dick. Oh, wow. We're dicks, but so are all of his dukes. Awesome. So, the next war, it will probably be for Poland. Let me just see. Let's just look at all of our truces at once. So we've got a truce with East Francia, which runs out in 2 years. We have a truce with this bishop guy, which runs out shortly, but, well, we don't have to worry about that. We have a truce with the King of Hungary for 8 years, a truce with Poland for 3, and a truce with the guy we just beat the shit out of for 10. So East Francia is the next one in 2 years. And our particular claim is for Thuringen, the Duke of Brunswick, to take Thuringen. And he's my nephew, and he already holds stuff that we have, so we could take that off him. Fairly easily, I must admit. So let's just get our armies and park them over here. It will be a while before we declare that war, and we might do Italy before then if something untoward happens to the King of Italy. This guy could also die, so, you know, that'd be fine. This guy probably won't die very soon, and I think the Polish guy was also pretty healthy looking. Yeah, 44. And while we could attack the High Chief of Pomerania, I just don't want to take that supply limit thing, because we'd have to park well over 2,000 troops here just to even progress the siege. and the supply limit was what, 1,000? To just be way too expensive in terms of people dying. So factions are still a thing, but they're all in single percentiles. Doesn't matter. I knew there was a huge bear somewhere near the caves in Oberbayern, and a courtier of mine had insisted to come along when my men and I went hunting for the bear. So the courtier is just Humbert here. Enough of your nagging, you can come along. In which case, Humbert finds a bear. Or, there is no way you'll join us, which is -10 opinion. He could take it, but whatever. The beast was huge, bigger than any bear I had ever seen. I fought him bravely, but only managed to slay him after he wounded several of my men. And for the uninitiated, did you know that bear is a gay term? Anyway, I could not save everyone, which I gained 10 prestige. Humbert gets a 30% chance of being wounded and a -10% opinion, but I managed to save Humbert, in which case we get an opinion modifier. We don't need it, so I could not save everyone. A little bit of extra prestige for us. It's not bad. And then Violette. We have a bunch of wars that we could declare on people, but it's kind of, well, the wars that we could declare wouldn't get us anything. Brynhild and the common folk. The entire country is boiling with rumours and gossip of Brynhild, the humble country girl who rose to become a trusted servant of the king. That's me. Hope of defeating the realm's enemies is blossoming, and peasants everywhere are celebrating this fantastic tale of a virgin saviour from the humblest ranks of society. She is truly a legend in her own time. So for the next year, the entire realm is gripped by religious fervour and an unquestioning belief in the ruler's divine mandate. -5% national revolt risk. Just before we activate that, let's have a look at our revolt risk. We got a tiny amount in the Bohemian regions because it's a different culture group, and down here as well. So if we just click on that, and yeah, everything is just the same green color, which means nobody is going to revolt against. We're not going to get any peasant revolts. We'll still get noble revolts because those guys are, you know, dicks. But let's just join these armies up. They have nicely factored themselves into their particular columns, so that's all working out nice. So we'll have 900 heavy infantry in each column and 600 archers as well. The next thing we want to buy are probably the knight retinues, which are expensive. It's 128 gold each, and they take 1600 retinue caps, so that's going to be in a while. The Doge of Genoa has managed to get somebody near Prince Yves. For a princely sum, she has agreed to solve our little problem for us. Oh, okay, yeah, so while Genoa is a republic, it's also beholden to the King of Lotharingia, Italy and Burgundy. So, that's interesting. It also puts it... I'm starting to think Trude may fancy me. No! Stop it! We have a lovely French wife. Jeez. Realm size is increasing. We're only about 50 shy of the whole Holy Roman Empire thing, but we also need the Kingdom of East Francia. Let's have a look at the de jure method for this, though. Oh yeah, we're well shy here. We wouldn't need to hold the kingdom title for this, but we'd need a lot of money and piety, which we have, but you know. And we'd also need to occupy a lot more land than we already do. Yeah, we'd need to get... Oh geez, I don't even know. I could calculate that, but I think it's something like another 40 counties. And while that's below the 50 holdings, remember that these holdings also includes bishoprics and cities. That's why it's 172. We don't have 172 counties. We might have something like 50. Maybe. Maid made a clean escape, but she didn't manage to kill the kid. Whatever. And the King of West Francia would like to call us into war over the West Francian Aquitaine de jure war over Amiens. Right, so he's trying to take back this piece up here. We're going to accept, because he's an ally, and then we're not going to do anything about it. Because really, look at this. He's parked 10,000 guys on the place. He's won that war. It's pointless for him to even ask us to join in. We do have a little message here saying that Sif of Rothstock. This is a false positive here. That when she dies, she's going to pass her titles on to somebody who is not a dynastic heir to hers. So it gives us this vassal inheritance warning. It says their titles might pass from your realm. They won't. Because her heir is a Luddlefinger. So we don't have to worry about that. And we'll actually just dismiss that warning. We right click on it and say dismiss for now. If you disable it, it disables you ever getting that warning. Truces are expiring with the Bishop of Surgo, who is... Oh, that must have been the guy that we declared war on when he was in that revolt or something. We can't declare war on him now because he's a bishop of a place. The Austrian revolt is losing. That's intriguing. I would really like it if the Pope could start declaring crusades. That would be wonderful. But I guess, you know, he's just not into it. Yep, again, we've got a maid near the prince. But, unfortunately, we'll come back to that next episode because I've just looked over at the stopwatch and we're getting very close to the hour mark. So, as usual, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, plans for the future, your own games, that sort of thing, feel free to ask them. If you have any comments, whether it be about what I'm doing or something else entirely, leave them below the video. If you liked the video, feel free to click that like button to demonstrate such feelings. And if you'd like to see more, well, subscribe button's down there too. But in the meantime, I've been Sub, you've been yourselves. Later.